At the dawn of the 5th century BC, the Persian Empire stood unmatched in its size and power. From the valleys of the Nile to the mountains of India, it stretched across continents, a colossus commanding men, wealth, and armies beyond measure. To its subjects, it was the great king's order, an empire of satraps and tribute. To its enemies, it was a shadow stretching ever westward, unstoppable and absolute. But on the edge of this empire, along the coast of Asia Minor, lived the Ionian Greeks. Traders, sailors, and thinkers, they had once been free. Now, under Persian rule, their loyalty was fragile, their desire for independence unbroken. Beneath the watchful eyes of Persian governors, they plotted, whispered, and waited. The spark came from Aristagoras of Miletus, ambitious, desperate, and persuasive. His call for revolt spread across Ionia, and when Athens and Eretria sent ships in support, the gamble became open war. In 499 BC, the Ionian cities rose together, their banners lifted against the empire that held them down. The rebels struck quickly and struck hard. Marching inland, they stormed Sardis, the great satrapal capital. Fire swept through the city's lower quarters, and flames licked the skies above the Persian stronghold. For the rebels, it was a moment of triumph, proof that even Persia could be wounded. But for Darius, watching from afar, it was an unforgivable insult. The flames of Sardis would burn in his memory, and he swore vengeance not only on the Ionians, but on the Athenians who had dared to aid them. Persia's response was swift and brutal. From the shipyards of Phoenicia and Egypt, fleets poured into the Aegean. From the east came seasoned soldiers, hardened in campaigns that spanned deserts and mountains. One by one, Ionian strongholds fell. Cities were punished, walls torn down, and populations enslaved. Resistance was crushed with merciless precision. Yet the Ionians refused to surrender without a final stand. In 494 BC, their fleet gathered near the island of Lade. Over 300 triremes lined side by side, determined to fight for freedom. The scene was one of defiance, a fragile hope against overwhelming might. But unity, the one weapon they needed most, failed them. Rivalry simmered, doubts spread, and when the Persian fleet closed in, some Ionian squadrons abandoned the line. Betrayal shattered the defense. The battle was chaos, ships colliding, oars snapping, men locked in desperate combat. For a time, the Greeks held, their bronze rams tearing through enemy hulls. But the balance turned quickly. The Persians pressed relentlessly, their Phoenician sailors cutting through the weakened formation. One by one, the Greek ships fell. The sea itself seemed to close over the revolt. The defeat at Lade sealed Ionia's fate. Miletus, the proud heart of the uprising, was besieged and destroyed. Its people were enslaved, its legacy marked by tragedy. Across the coast, rebellion was extinguished. The Ionian dream of independence was drowned beneath the empire's weight. But the story did not end there. Though crushed, the revolt had lit a flame, far brighter than its leaders intended. Athens had taken part. Athens had burned Sardis, and in doing so, it had placed itself squarely in the path of the great king's vengeance. In the halls of Persepolis, Darius raised his hand and swore revenge on the Athenians. To him, this small city was no minor nuisance. It was a threat that had dared to challenge the empire. His generals were ordered to prepare. Soldiers were called, fleets built, strategies laid. The Ionian revolt had ended in ashes, but it had set the stage for something far greater. A war that would pit the vast power of Persia against the fierce independence of the Greek city-states, across the Aegean to the plains of Marathon, where the first true clash between Greece and Persia awaited.